On behalf of the government of Montenegro, it is with great pleasure that I present to you the second voluntary national review. The Agenda 2030 is a constituent part of Montenegro's Sustainable Development Policy as of 2016 and the adoption of the National Strategy for Sustainable Development, or NSDS 2030. We appreciate and have used the process of the second VNR preparation to assess progress and status in achieving the 17 SDGs at the national level. A significant progress was made in the institutional framework for sustainable development through redesign of the National Council on Sustainable Development and repositioning of the Office for Sustainable Development, which is now linked to the government's General Secretariat. We are honored that ECOSOC provided us with the opportunity to conduct the VNR process and supported us in this endeavor. We are also grateful that throughout the process we could rely on the support of the UN system in Montenegro. The process of development of the second VNR was coordinated by the Office for Sustainable Development and started in September 2021. We developed a detailed working plan, communication and stakeholders engagement plan. Offline and online consultations were conducted. Offline, through a multi-sectoral working group responsible for the VNR preparation and through consultation meetings. A particularly valuable contribution came from the institution of the Ombudsperson and its network of Golden Advisors, 11 to 17 years old, for the protection of the rights of children. As a part of online consultations, close to 1,000 people took part in the second VNR process through the UNICEF U report, and a dedicated new platform was created. Representatives of the civil sector took part in the deliberations of the working group and in the consultation meetings and have provided assessment for a number of SDGs. The second VNR was adopted by the government in June 2022. In addition to SDGs 4, 5, 14, 15 and 17, Montenegro's second VNR focuses on and includes a detailed assessment for SDG 1. For other SDGs, a brief overview of progress and key challenges is provided. The progress with the implementation of SDGs that the second VNR was focused on was assessed based on one of the following two elements: available indicators and information about activities implemented in the last 5 years. The following symbols were used to depict progress and/or status. Now, I would like to invite our National S Digital Advisory Team to present the analysis for the goals on which the second Montenegro VNR focused. Dear Suad, Borko, Dina, Giga and Mare, please start. SDG 1. No poverty. Analysis. At risk of poverty rate dropped to 22.6% in 2020. At risk of poverty rate and social exclusion rate for children remained 38.6% in 2020. At risk of poverty is increasing in the north with a rate of 44.5%. Conclusion. Moderate progress has been achieved for SDG 1. The 2030 target halving the share of those living in poverty is not likely to be achieved with the existing policies. For several SDG 1 targets, it was not possible to assess the progress due to a lack of data. The overall assessment is that the country faces significant challenges with the achievement of SDG 1. Recommendation: dynamic and continuous reduction of poverty. Sustained universal child care to tackle the child poverty. Improving the social care system, especially for the most vulnerable. Enhancing the regional development policy.
SDG 4. Education. Analysis. Despite progress, unequal access to quality education. Good progress with early education and ICT skills. Investments in education infrastructure needed. Peer violence is increasing. Improving quality of education is the key challenge. Conclusion. Significant progress has been achieved for SDG 4 targets on access to early education and development of youth and adult skills. For other targets, mixed trends were recorded. Overall, it is assessed there are challenges to achieve SDG 4. Recommendations: ensuring equal access to quality education for all, increased investing in education infrastructure, continuous training of teachers, improving national system for monitoring of education, understanding and mitigating all consequences of COVID pandemics, adequate response to peer violence.
SDG 5. Gender equality. Analysis. Improved political and social participation of women. Progress in processing of cases of violence. The society is predominantly patriarchal. As per the Gender Equality Index, Montenegro lags behind the EU average. Conclusion. The assessment of the second VNR is that the country is facing significant challenges on the path to achieve SDG 5, despite some encouraging signals like empowerment of women and stronger, although still not fully effective, response to violence against women and girls. Recommendation: increase financial support for gender policies, improve access to resources, continue with investing in ensuring effective participation of women in decision-making.
SDG 14, Life Below Water, and SDG 15, Life on Land. Analysis: 13.4% of the land under the national protection. As of 2021, 1% of the marine area under the protection regime. Challenges remain with management of protected areas, sustainable forest management, protected species, and land and freshwater ecosystems. Conclusion. Significant progress has been achieved for SDG 14 through the introduction of an ecosystem approach and designation of marine protected areas. Progress has been achieved in the protection of the coastal ecosystems too, but the weaknesses in management protected areas remain. The country still faces a number of challenges on the path to achieve the SDG 14, including the lack of data. Lack of data is also characteristic for SDG 15. Moreover, stagnation has been recorded for several targets. Consequently, it was assessed Montenegro faces significant challenges to achieve SDG 15. Recommendation. Invest in capacities for monitoring of the marine environment status, ensure implementation of fisheries policy, improve quality of management of protected areas, invest in better control and consistent implementation of the legislation.
SDG 17, Partnerships for the Goals. Analysis. 1.6 billion euros of public funding invested in SDGs 4, 5, 14, 15 and 17 in the period from 2015 to 2020. The proportion of individuals using the internet increased significantly from 69.9% in 2016 to 82.2% in 2021. Despite progress, more needs to be done to ensure policy coherence and coordination for sustainable development. The same applies to multi-stakeholder partnerships. Conclusion. A significant positive trend was recorded for the use of ICT, but no major progress as regards the targets related to data, monitoring and accountability. The overall assessment is that the country is facing significant challenges for the attainment of SDG 17. Recommendation. Increase public spending on sustainable development, enhance coherence of policies and policy coordination mechanisms, strengthen capacities for monitoring and evaluation of policies. As for other goals, the assessment of the second VNR is that significant progress has been made in SDGs 3, 7, 8 and 13. On the other hand, stagnation or insufficiently fast progress was identified in SDGs 6, 9, 12 and partially in 11. Concerning trends were noted in SDGs 10 and 16, as well as in some elements of SDG 11. There was no sufficient data to assess progress in SDG 2.
Thank you, SDG advisors.